Hi everyone, my name is Brittania Elias and I am a paralegal here at Ayuda. We are a nonprofit law firm here in DC and I currently work with our domestic violence and family law program. Today I will be doing a presentation on domestic violence one-on-one. In today's presentation, we will be going over a few definitions. What is domestic violence? What is sexual assault? And what is stalking? Let's get started. What is domestic violence? Domestic violence is a pattern of behavior in any relationship that is used to gain or maintain power and control over an intimate partner. There are different forms of domestic violence. The most common ones are physical, sexual, and verbal abuse. However, there are different other kinds of domestic violence that happens within intimate partners. For instance, economic and financial abuse and emotional abuse. What is sexual assault? Sexual assault refers to any sexual contact or behavior that occurs without the explicit consent of another individual. Some forms of sexual assault include the following: attempted rape, unwanted touching, and forcing someone to perform sexual acts. Remember, sometimes the force isn't always physical. An abuser can use psychological threats, manipulation, and sometimes threaten you or harm to your family. What is stalking? Stalking is a pattern of repeated and unwanted attention, harassment, contact, or any course of conduct directed at a specific person that can cause them fear. Forms of stalking include the following: threats to you or your family, non-consensual communication such as repeated phone calls, text messages, emails, physical and visible closeness, such as following you from a distance, being at your workplace, following you home, and any behavior that is used to contact, harass, and threaten you. Remember that stalking laws are different from state to state, so please make sure to follow up with your state laws. What are some warning signs that I am being abused? We like to use a diagram called the cycle of abuse that has 4 different phases. Phase 1 is the abuse happens, such as physical, verbal, sexual, emotional abuse. Phase 2 is the reconciliation phase, where the abuser might apologize for what has happened, might promise for the abuse to stop, or may even blame the victim for provoking the abuse. Phase 3 is the calm phase. There might not be any abuse happening during this period. Promises that were made in the reconciliation phase might be happening, and the victim might be hoping that the abuse has stopped. Phase 4 is the tension building, where the abuse might slowly start progressing. The victim might want to calm the abuser down, and there might be some loss in communication, which leads to the attention building. What should I do if I'm being abused? Most importantly, you should have a safety plan. This plan is created for you and your safety. This can mean trusting a friend, a neighbor, or an advocate to check in on you, to call the police if they don't hear from you, to send a text, to send a phone call, just to make sure that you are safe. Most importantly, you should also carry or have copies of any original important documents with you. Another option is for you to call the police and make a police report. You can always file for a protection order. If you go to your local courthouse, you might find more resources on that. You can also find any local organizations that do consultations on domestic violence. Like ourselves at Ayuda, we offer consultations to any immigrant that is suffering from domestic violence, sexual assault, and stalking. Again, my name is Brittania Elias and I work at Ayuda as a paralegal. It was a pleasure giving you guys an overview of the domestic violence 101.